Till 1944 we lived at home. And then the Nazis overthrew the Hungarian government, overthrew them. And I was taken to the military as a military worker. Jews were not taken as soldiers, as a military worker. And I was there till the end of the war. It was a military camp where they needed workers, they sent workers. We went to work for the German army, we worked on the road. Whatever work they needed, work wasn't hard. At the beginning it was not hard at all. They needed 6 guys, they sent 8, you know what I mean? The work wasn't hard. We had a barrack, military barracks. They had 400 people next to each other, you know. At the beginning we got good food, military food. We had an easy life till October 1944. Then we had to retreat. And towards the end of the war was very bad. The last 3 months was very bad. Half of us died. Where I was, we were well treated. We went to work for the German army, we were well treated. Those German soldiers and officers, they had nothing to do with the killing. They were 200 kilometers, 100 kilometers behind the front. They were very happy they don't have to go fighting. Because if you didn't go fighting, you didn't get killed. Like those who went on the front, many of them were killed or wounded. So they were happy, they were there, and they treated us properly. Right, they were on away half a day before. They knew already that the Russians will come, so they ran. Well, they chased us out to work, and it was cold sometimes. Food was very bad. There was lice, we created epidemic. They needed 30 people to work. First 30 people to work. The man was sick, he had to go. So if he was sick, next day he was dead. Then we had, the food wasn't good. It was a different commander. And the war was almost over, they treated us badly. At the end, the Russians came in, I was liberated. They came in and they said, you're all free, you all can go home. So I didn't know what go home. I ended up in Budapest, and there some relatives took me into a hospital, and I was there about 2 months to recuperating from the war. I had frostbites and any other things, you know. I didn't eat properly for months. The last part of the war was very bad. Like I said, half of us died. Oh, after I returned to Czechoslovakia, I worked for a while in a textile factory, and then in 1947 they took me to the army for 2 months, Czechoslovakian army. And when I got out from the army, I tried to go to America. I was lucky I got to Canada. A Jewish organization helped for the Jews. You know, there were some Jews who survived, and some was helping. So they said if somebody is not 18 years old yet, and he's an orphan, he can go to Canada. Well, I was already 18, but I said I'm not 18. My brother-in-law got me papers that I'm less than 18, and I came to Canada, and I was here about 5 years. Then I reported myself, and I became a citizen eventually. Well, I came here with an assumed name. I was 25 and I said I'm 18. My name was Samuel Weisberg for a while. And after 5 years I reported to the government that my name is not Samuel Weisberg, that I am not 18. I came here anyway. Eventually it was straightened out. I was not a criminal, I just wanted to come to Canada. The authorities, they came to my house. I went to the Canadian government and I told them the whole story. I wanted to come to Canada, and that's the only way I could come if I am less than 18. So, but if I would hire a lawyer, he would tell me to talk differently. He would tell me that I couldn't stand the communism, this, that time. It was a big problem between the West and East. The Americans were against communism and the Russians were for communism. So I was caught in the middle, you know.